Hi, this is Kristen here. Welcome to another process video, and today I'm creating another layout for Color Rush Studio. I am a guest designer for the month of September. When I saw this paper, I knew immediately I wanted to do a layout with it. And so I was pulling in another piece of paper that was from the kit, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to back the photograph with that, but I decided just to do just plain black out of my stash. So this is actually a 5x7 photograph. I don't usually typically scrapbook larger photos like this, and but I kind of felt like with this layout, it just seemed to me like I don't know, I just felt like it made sense to do a larger one. So, and since I was only going to put one on there, I had plenty of room. So this is actually a photograph of my kids we were getting ready to check into Art of Animation at Disney. And so my younger son is holding up a peace sign. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, well, this ephemera and this paper would be perfect for this layout. So I end up pulling in the die cut pieces. This adventure piece doesn't make it on there, but it's kind of got like a holographic glittery look to it, which is really neat. They had a lot of pieces like that this month in there. And I'm just pulling in the different die cut star pieces, this little peace sign here. And some of this will get shifted around. I love the die cut pieces where it kind of looked like the same as on the paper where it was kind of that rainbow. And you get two of those, which I could have had like a whole pack of that and would have been a happy camper. So anyway, so I'm just kind of playing around here trying to figure out how exactly I wanted to get this all laid out. And really this paper, I knew as soon as I saw it would be pretty easy to kind of scrapbook, just because like pretty much all of it's done for you. It's very mixed media looking, so you don't have to add much to it besides your ephemera, and I absolutely love that about this kit. I feel like a lot of the papers were kind of the same way, where like the background paper would do most of the work for you. So anyways, I had to pull in these bows. They're checkered, and since we were checking into the Art of Animation, of course that's we were staying in the Cars building. So, of course, Cars is Lightning McQueen. So I thought, I've got to get those little bows on there because I thought that would be perfect to kind of represent that. And so, of course, I'm still fussing around here. There were a couple cork pieces that came, and so those will make it on the layout. You can see like the little peace sign there and then the smiley face. Those guys will make it on there. This piece that I just put up in the upper left says Big Moments, and that has that kind of holographic kind of glittery look to it. I was actually completing this layout before I went to work, and really it came together pretty quickly. I mean, I have this sped up. It probably took me about 45 minutes, I think, to complete it, but some of that is because I will kind of mock everything up before I glue it down, so it's kind of like doing the process twice. I definitely wanted a little bit of the frazzle behind going across this rainbow piece, so I was just holding up the different pieces of frazzle that had come in the kit this month and end up settling on this kind of black and white striped one. And so again, like I mock everything up, make sure I like how it looks before I glue it down. So, I mean, that's why I feel like typically the layouts take me a little bit longer, because I do like to like plan and think. I mean, I don't really start planning until I pick out the paper or pick out the photograph and then kind of start figuring out what exactly all I want to use on it. But I still like to have everything mocked up before I glue it. I decided I want a cluster up here, and I thought that would be a good spot to tie in a little bit more frazzle up here to add another little cluster up here. I kind of wanted to pull a little bit of attention to the fact that was like a little bit of splattering up there, paint splatters. I just thought that, the mixed media appearance on all these papers this month were, there's not a single paper that I don't love. And I really, when I got it, I was like, what paper do I use first? So it was like, I was kind of like, kind of rapid fire did this is my third layout. Rapid Fire did 3 layouts like within the first couple of days of receiving the kit, because there was so much, like all the papers were so easy, I feel, to create a layout from. And then all the ephemera pieces were like, very complementary to the paper. So it was like you really didn't have to think too much about it, honestly. And so up here at the top, I decided to add a little bit more ephemera to the ribbon. So I added that other rainbow piece, a peace sign, and then I'm going to add in one of the smiley faces. This is a little bit bigger one, and I think I stick with this one. It's one that's got like that same kind of glittery, kind of holographic look to it. And I was trying to cover up over on the photograph there, I was trying to cover up a spot where when I took the picture, it was like, I don't know, some kind of like electric box. And I tried to crop it out of the photograph, but like to crop it out, then I was having to crop like the kids' legs off or cut out the back of the the building background there, and I wanted like it to be obvious where we were at. So so that was kind of my remedy, was to just stick some ephemera pieces over it. And so I'm going to start getting everything adhered down. I don't make you sit here and watch all of this. I kind of just get started here so that you know what I'm doing. And there was like a little string hanging off this frazzle, so I just kind of cut that off there. I'm going to go ahead and get the picture adhered down, and then I'll start working in the ephemera around it. And so I've gotten, I think, pretty much almost everything glued down at this point. And then I'm just trimming off the excess frazzle from the ends. I'm just adding a little bit of glue down here to make sure that that frazzle doesn't get, kind of ripped up and caught on the page protector when I go to slip it in. And then I wanted a little bit of a title, and you'll see I end up having a little bit of a conundrum here. I mean, it's not super obvious, but so I wanted to put "Let the Fun Begin," and I wanted to do fun in these kind of teal looking letters, just because there's not as many of them. So I figured kind of do the highlight fun as, make it more of the highlight within the title. So I was just kind of like backing this onto that color paper there, because initially I thought I wanted to have the title down here. And really, when I was pulling up these stickers, so these both came in the kit. When I was pulling them up, they didn't feel like uber sticky. Like I kind of felt like I was going to be okay, like placing them, down onto the cardstock. And when I went to switch, because then I was thinking, well, maybe up at the top right part of the photograph, I thought maybe that's where I wanted my title. So I ended up pulling up, kind of mocked up "Let the Fun," and I ended up pulling up pretty much all of that. And for some reason, the end got stuck and like started kind of tearing up some of the paper. And so I just decided, like, let's not even go there. So you'll see me start moving this all up here, because I was like, well, maybe I want it, up here instead. And really, the stickers weren't like the alphas weren't super sticky, so I thought I was going to be okay. And when it started to rip up that piece of paper down there, I was like, you know what, let's just not even go there, because it's not that big of a deal to me to move the title necessarily. I just thought maybe it would kind of stick out a little bit better, being up here where the white is. So So I start to mock it up with the intention of doing that. And you'll see here in a moment, like, so I'm just right there where what I'm doing is the paper was fine. I was just trying to get some of the adhesive off that had kind of like gotten stuck down on the paper. So, and that was, I mean, that was fine. It pretty much just balled up as soon as I kind of rubbed my fingers over it. So, and I think I would have liked it up here, but again, when I started to peel up that end, it started ripping the paper, and I was like, I like this paper way too much. And actually, off camera, when I realized what it was doing, I held up one of the ephemera pieces to see if I could like kind of cover that up if I were to move it up there. And none of the ephemera pieces like looked good there. It just looked I don't know, looked out of place and kind of took your attention away from the photographs and the cluster. So I decided to just leave the title down at the bottom and kind of shift it around. And I like it there just fine. And now I am gluing down some sequins. So this was sequins from the June kit from Color Rush. And I've got a ton of this left over. So if you noticed, I'm using quite a bit of it on these layouts. So now the sequins up here, I chose to do, the sequence mix was adorable. It had like these black and white polka dotted sequins in there, and so I decided to use that mostly up in this colored area rather than the colored glitter pieces. And then there were kind of like a couple iridescent ones, so that's what I used up here, was black and white ones and then iridescent ones. And you'll see that better in the close-ups. I know, like from far away, it's kind of hard to be able to see. And then I'm using this little piece here. It's just a crystal wand that I got from Amazon. I just looked up like crystal wand or sequins wand, and it popped up. So, and I think I got 2 of them. I wanted to say it was maybe around $14. And it comes with a pointy end so that you can move the sequins around if you need it. And it comes with this kind of like waxy tip end so that you can pick the sequins up. And a lot of time to get the sequins to come off, I kind of almost do it like in a rolling manner. Like if you notice, like I'm kind of rolling, because sometimes it does. It wants to get sucked to the end there. And so I feel like if you kind of roll it as you're placing it down, it kind of helps keep that from sticking to your wand. And here is the finished layout. I think this turned out so cute. I mean, who couldn't see that paper and just absolutely fall in love with it? The paper is just so beautiful. And here are a few close-up shots. I really appreciate you for coming by to watch another process video.